Good afternoon. I'd like to call our June 18th special call meeting to order, please. Thank everyone for being here. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in North Carolina General Statutes 143-31811, A1 and A6, and 115C 319 through 321, and to consult with the attorney for the Board of Education in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided by the North Carolina General Statute 143-31811, A3.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. You good, Ken? We're good. Yeah.
Okay. Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All right. Mr. Henderson, if you would lead us in the pledge.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're at opening remarks. I'd just like to welcome everyone to our June 18th, 2020 meeting, special call meeting. I don't have any other comments to make. Dr. Merrill, if you would like to say anything.
Just a slightest update on where we are. I wonder if it'd be possible to have a real budget work session next Thursday. Way to go, Ken. Thank you, sir. We've got a meeting Monday night, the 29th, which immediately follows next week. And at that time, I'll probably ask for a continuing budget resolution, which will allow me to at least get into July 1st without a budget, which is pretty standard. I think you've probably done that in the past. But what I think what we might have by Thursday is I can show you probably how we'll cut, where we think we can shrink some things. That's probably where we'll spend most of our time. We don't have firm numbers from the state yet. We've only got planning numbers. We still don't have firm numbers from upstairs. I think I know what the county appropriation is. They talked about it this week. I haven't confirmed it with the manager, but we'll seek to do so, and then that's a number I'll build a budget against, including the reductions to balance us to the extent possible. So I'm wondering if we might be able to do something on Thursday afternoon, 1-ish. I don't have the date. Week
25th?
Yeah, 25.
25, yeah.
I know you've been called into a lot of meetings. That one might not be, I don't even know if it's 2 hours, but you might block 2 hours.
What did you say?
What do you think? I mean, is that reasonable? 1 o'clock, I mean, is that mostly a head nod from everybody? Conflict, Mr. Falk?
No, I'm good. But
Okay.
I think I may have a conflict that my wife is retiring and they're giving her a retirement celebration that day.
Okay.
What time?
I'm not certain. I think it's early afternoon.
We could go later if you wish. We could go in the morning. Well, I want every hour I've got before that.
So I'm booked in the morning, so anything after 12 is as good as I can do.
Okay.
5, 6,
Well,
5 or 6.
I have 6 o'clock dinner, but I can check.
Okay.
Can you call her and ask her? Is she aware that they're gonna give her something?
I don't need to know right now. I'll work with you. Tish and I'll work with you and try and accommodate retirement. So,
Well, my afternoon is free.
okay. Just block the time for now.
So tentatively, we're Thursday, 1 o'clock on the 25th. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, until we hear from.
Yeah, just hold it for now. Thank you. what you're probably accustomed to in terms of a budget in your final meeting, that won't happen this year. I know we'll be building a budget into July. So I'm sort of under, I don't know what the right term is. I'm dialing down your expectation in terms of something good and firm and solid, because we continue to work through that. As we're building this last payroll, then we're looking at how we're bouncing against funds that exist. And then eventually that'll give us what our final numbers are. So it's still a work in progress. I'm just serious progress. I will share, interestingly enough, that I came across a finance officer who might be interested, but I think the individual is way out of our pay range. And it's unfortunate, because there's an individual who's done both public school work quite effectively and government work, city government work in North Carolina. But he probably saved me a lot of time and said, this is what I would probably want to come. And it would just be too much. Because they can demand, and they know they can. But we'll see. So we've got a ways to go on that. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Okay, our next agenda item will be the Wayne County Board of Education resolution to authorize fiscal responsibilities to acting superintendent and acting finance officer. And I will read the resolution. Whereas on June 3rd, 2020, the Wayne County Board of Education accepted the resignation of Superintendent Dr. Michael J. Dunsmore, and at the same time appointed as acting superintendent Dr. James G. Merrill. And whereas prior to June 3rd, 2020, the Wayne County Board of Education had accepted the resignation of its finance officer, Mr. Michael Hayes, and whereas subsequent to June 3rd, 2020, Dr. Merrill, as acting superintendent and pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 115C-435, appointed Dr. David Lewis as acting finance officer. And whereas Wayne County Public Schools is obligated to comply with all laws, statutes, rules, and policies governing fiscal affairs for the school system. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Education hereby confirms the acting superintendent and the acting finance officer have the following powers and duties with respect to the finances and accounting on behalf of the board and the school system. Number one, the acting superintendent and acting finance officer shall have all powers and duties of a superintendent or finance officer respectively, pursuant to the North Carolina General Statutes and Wayne County Board of Education policies, to oversee and administer finances on behalf of the board and the school system, including where authorized to execute and sign contracts and other documents on behalf of the Wayne County Board of Education. Number two, pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 115C-439, the board policy, and Board Policy 8330, the acting superintendent and acting finance officer shall have full authority to utilize facsimile signature machines, stamps, or other devices for the signing of checks, contracts, drafts, and prudent certificates. Furthermore, be it resolved that upon the effective date of the appointment of the acting superintendent to that of interim superintendent, all powers and duties outlined in this resolution and in the general statutes are hereby conferred upon him on that date to be executed consistent with the law, including the power to appoint a finance officer pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 115C-435, approved today, adopted and approved this date, June 18, 2020, signed by the Chairman of the Board, Wayne County Board of Education.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the resolution as read.
A second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay, thank you. The general personnel report. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay, this time, I think that wraps it up for us. We don't have a place on here for board comments, but, Ms. Burden, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, not at this
Let me say something first, and then I'll go around to each of you. We're moving forward with our means of searching for our next superintendent in Wayne County Public Schools. So I would like to each of you, I've received some correspondence from different agencies and companies who do that, as well as the North Carolina State Board of Education. So I would like for you to give it some thought and maybe, get back with us maybe at our next meeting or prior to that if you have any concerns, questions, or how we're going to go about the search. But we do need to be moving in that direction because we're going to be probably looking, not at the most opportune time for a superintendent, but, we're going to have to, we need to move that process up. So just be thinking about that and hopefully get back with myself or Jennifer, Dr. Merrill, however you want to pursue it, but we need to be giving it some serious thought to get it started underway. Ms. Gordon?
I really don't have any comments.
Okay. Mr. Henderson?
I would just like to say that I did attend Southern Wayne High School graduation this morning along with the board member Ben Falk. Everything went extremely well. We didn't have any problems. The parents and all attendees were conforming very well to the request that we had made. So I was real pleased with that.
Mr. Latham?
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Falk?
Piggybacking on Mr. Henderson, that, I've been to all four so far, and they've all four gone just as smooth as they could go. Other than the rain at Charles B. Aycock, we had to postpone it, but it'll go smooth once we get to it. Thank you, Ken, for you and your team. I think the live streaming, I've heard lots of good news about the live streaming, and it's just gone real well. And even the students that have chosen not to go to the traditional graduation have gone to their schools and had their moments there to get their diplomas. I've heard, it sounds like it's worked out real well both ways, where we've given alternative graduation and we've given them the on-field graduation.
Ms. Strickland?
Pretty much ditto. Thank you, Mr. Dirksen, with all the work that you did for the graduation. I attended the Rosewood graduation the first night. It was beautifully done. And I know that the staff at each of the schools that have already put theirs together and the ones that are coming, they have worked hard, and I thank all of them for everything they've done for our students. So,
I don't have, just other than thank you, Mr. Dirksen, for your hard work. I know it's been a task for you, but I think, giving people the opportunity with the situation we're in, where, we're only a certain 2 tickets per family, that's given a lot of family members and friends an opportunity to watch the graduation. I've watched the feeds, and they've been perfect, in my opinion. So I think I think you've done a good job, you and your staff. Thank you. That's all I have, other than to say thank you, Dr. Merrill. Welcome on board, and look forward to working with you, and I think we'll be able to get some things accomplished anyway. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.